Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a little bit about my last week in games, and for this EVE talk we'll also talk a little bit about real life because a couple of things are happening. You may of course know that there's this bug that's going around that is causing some troubles here and there, and for me it is no different, although I don't have the bug myself. I have to work from home at this point and it is basically creating an extreme amount of work at the moment, which means that I have to put all my energy into work and there's not that much left when it comes to gaming or making videos and things like that. And I just want to take this opportunity to remind you guys that making videos, playing games, it's a hobby for me, and my main goals for them are to have fun and to relax a little bit, especially when I need it, such as in times like this. And that's also the reason why I'm just playing a bit of EVE Online, a bit of Dota, underlords, making videos that are pretty easy to produce, not really that much effort going into them. It's because I need the rest basically, and that's also what I'm going to do. My priority number one is my real life job, my real life situation, family, things like that always come on the first place. Second one is then the channel, trying to get a video up every day, and after that a little bit of streaming if I ever find the time for that. Right now that just has not been on the books. When it comes to EVE Online, I have done, oh no, there's more real life stuff first actually, because I did receive my new computer and a new screen last week, so that means that I can now game in 4K. It looks amazing in EVE Online, really mind-boggling how much real estate you have as well with a smaller UI and things like that. Very, very cool stuff in my opinion, and I'm gonna try to share that as well from time to time, although most videos I still expect to just be 1080p. Once you get to like 15-minute mark and things like that, I do think that the file sizes become a little bit overwhelming, and I want to keep all of that reasonable basically. But going back to EVE Online, what all of this means is that I spent a little bit less time in EVE Online, because I did spend 2 evenings basically putting everything together, rearranging the setup for the screens, the desktops and all of that stuff. And after that I had to install everything on the new computer, which is still basically in progress, and then I have to try to test everything out, find the right settings. It's a lot of work, and so for EVE Online a little bit less than normal. I did manage to do a little bit of exploration, actually got pretty damn lucky on some of these exploration runs as well, especially when it comes to the loot. I'm surprised all of a sudden I'm finding good loots like armor wrappers and things like that that are actually worth quite a little bit of ISK at the moment. I am keeping up with my PI business, although it is all hoarding at the moment because the prices are really bad. And then of course the blueprint copy business, well, I only had time for 1 run and I had to basically put all my contracts back up, so it's still selling really well. Prices are reasonable. I feel like they flattened off. We're no longer in like premium prices which we had in the last couple of weeks, but it is pretty clear that there's a big impact from the 0-0 war on the economy in EVE Online as well. Minerals going back up, ship prices going back up, and a lot of demand for BPC. So overall I'm basically enjoying my little niche of playstyle in EVE Online, with exploration, bit of industry, bit of trade, bit of passive BPC production and things like that, and I'm having a good time with it. I'm looking forward to trying the new proving grounds, but that may take a little bit of time because I already feel like the intenseness of that experience, and so I'm basically just waiting for the right time to dive into. I know Aceface already said that he would be willing to take me into a 2 versus 2 and things like that. I'm kind of wondering if there's like a chat channel that you can join where things like that get organized. Maybe CCP made one or something. I'm not really sure. It's definitely something that I'll have to look into, but that's on the radar as well. I haven't forgotten, although I must say that the 1v1, no, the 5v5 brawl with destroyers is what I'm mostly looking forward to, because that's really cheap. You just get into a destroyer, get into there on your own, and well, you see the mayhem and hope that you can basically make it far into that 5v5. That one does sound pretty interesting. While you know, 2 versus 2, 5 versus 5, things like that. Take a little bit of a setup, a little bit of organization, and probably also preferably some communication as well through Discord. All extra steps that need to be taken. And honestly, on the Reddit at the moment, it seems to be dominated by certain kitey metas, really blingy ships and things like that. So I'm still a proponent actually of also putting like a cap on the fitting values in total. I mean, sure, just get rid of some of those mods that are not valued at anything, and that way I think it could be a lot more interesting for the proving grounds. But we'll see how all of that evolves. Of course, we're just in the first week basically, and I think that CCP has given them lots of room to improve the feature as well, so hopefully all of that will work out. Which brings me to the other game that I've been playing, and that's just some more Dota Underlords for the reasons that I've already laid out. It's a game that is basically, you start it up, you get 15 minutes for one of those quick knockout games, casual knockout games, and you know, you feel like you've spent a little bit of time thinking without really having to go with twitchy reactions or anything like that. I feel like I can relax playing Dota Underlords. I also feel like it's always decently fair, basically, because everyone has their chance on the roster. Of course, sometimes you're just very unlucky with the drafts, but on other times, you know, I've actually managed to make a comeback where I lost the first 3 games, got into a one live situation, and then I ended up getting back to first place as well. So there's still lots of cool stuff that I think you can experience in Dota Underlords, and you can do so in a casual way that doesn't cost too much energy. And well, I'll be honest, of course, making a video on Dota Underlords is pretty easy. Just, you know, start the game, start the recording, see where it leads, and end the recording. There you go, you've got a video ready. So I am taking that shortcut at the moment because basically I feel like there's not that much energy that I have to pour into different games that are more intense, or trying to do editing or anything like that. So sorry about that if it bothers you, but that's basically the state I'm in personally at the moment, and I need all of that energy to pour it into work rather than into the videos at the moment. I do have plans to take a look at Path of Exile. It's basically the game that I felt like was being problematic on my previous gaming rig for some reason. I'm really not sure why. I think it's that the hard drive became too slow or something like that. Something felt off, and so that's one of the reasons why I bought the new rig, although I was planning to do so from some time back as well. So I'm planning to revisit Path of Exile for sure. Want to play a little bit more of the League, want to try some of the new abilities as well. General's Warcry, the new brands, things like that are definitely on the radar as well. And then, well, since I can play at 4K, I'm really curious what Skyrim looks like in 4K. So I'm not 100% sure about that, but that may be something that I'll revisit as well. And basically, that was my last week in games, guys. A little bit of putting the battle station back together, a lot of real life work and some planning for things that I'm hoping to find the time for after things slow down. I can already tell you that next week is going to be very intense at work as well. Got some extra projects to do and things like that, so it won't be next week that you'll see some super extra content or anything like that, but I'm just keeping up as best as I can, and I hope that you guys stick along for the ride. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.